Can we start with squad news? You lost Doug Tharm last weekend. How's he for starters?
He's going to train today, so he should be fit. Just a little bit of tightness in his hamstring. The back related more than anything. So hopefully we'll get Joe Pritchard back as well. So could be better news on the injury front.
Two really important players for you right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and you know, Joe's a big miss for his creativity and his work rate, and obviously been chipping him in a couple of goals, so that's always a bonus, isn't it?
Is it when you get Joe back after missing him for virtually all of last season that it hits home how important that he is to you, or you knew that already, I guess?
Well, we did know it, but the difficult thing is that you want to try and look after him, and you don't want overburden him where he ends up missing 6 or 7 games when he could miss one, and possibly missing the game on Saturday was the right precaution to take, given the fact that he has had a history of muscle injury.
And he's been the first to admit he's found it difficult, hasn't he, the last 12 months? So to get him back and firing, you just want that to keep going, don't you?
Yeah, but when you've had so many injuries, it tends to become a psychological thing as well, which is difficult to... It's all right saying, oh, don't think about it. That's virtually impossible when you're a professional athlete. And you know how important your body is to you to perform. So we're always doing things to try and enhance the fitness of the players. And injury prevention is a big key part of it.
Just in terms of the other lads, I know you mentioned most weeks that they're long term and there's not much movement. Is there any progress?
I think Big Torre, well, he's trained this week. Rosaire will be joining in training today, I think. So maybe get a game into them next week in the 23s, and then they could come back into the fold for the following Saturday.
So it's beginning to get there slowly.
You're going to say it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas then. Only a couple of months away now. The thing is that you can moan about injuries till the cows come home. We're not the only team who will suffer a lot of injuries this season. Or you can focus on the players who are fit, and that's probably, without being disparaging to the players who are injured or without showing a negative approach to them, you've got to focus on what the lads who are fit can do, and then hopefully when the injured players get back into the fold, they can add some more. But it's no point worrying about something that you haven't got. Let's concentrate on what we have got.
It's the age-old thing, isn't it? It's the Liverpool way years ago. If you're injured, go to the manager, right?
Love the one you with. I think there was a song in there somewhere.
It's one of those, isn't it? What's the point you worrying about? It's a physio's job.
The thing is that there was the old sort of legends about them saying, oh, if you're injured, go to me. I don't subscribe to that. Players don't get injured on purpose, and I certainly would never ostracise a player because he's injured or ignore him or think that he was no use to me. The players, all the players who play for this club give their heart and soul to the club, and if they get injured, there's no one more disappointed than them.
You've won 3 in a row, John, in the league. Just how much of a difference psychologically and to give everyone a boost and confidence-wise does that give you?
Well, it's something that we had to do, to be honest, and I made this point a couple of times this week. It's all well, you don't get carried away with winning 3 on the spin, because we didn't get carried away in a negative aspect when we lost 3 on the bounce, having gone unbeaten to that point. It's a tough league. You'd like to think the 3 games that we won, Cheltenham, Bristol Rovers and Morecambe, the teams who will be around us come the final reckoning, and we want to be above them. We want to be top of that, the not ridiculously high wage bill bracket, but we want to be top of the ones that we certainly think we can compete with. Now all of them will get better gates than us, so we have to just compete on the pitch. We're going into it after games now that if we can start picking up points from them games, then you can start patting yourself on the back and saying that's a good performance. And that's no disrespect to the 3 teams that we beat, because there were 3 difficult games, all in their own nights, and a couple of them could have gone either way, to be honest. But we've also lost a couple of them games as well this season. You know, the Ipswich game, the Wickham game, the Forest Green game. You know, so we know we're punching at this level. We're competing, and that's something that you got to try and do. You just got to concentrate more and more. If you can start beating the bigger clubs, then you can start looking up rather than fear and looking down.
Had a bit of everything last weekend, didn't it? The game against Morecambe, a sending off that was hotly contested, still is being. What did you make of the game in general?
I'd love to know why it still is being, unless my TV's broke or my computer's broke, and or is the deep fake going on? Is this capture? I just seen a player leads with his arm, catch our player in the face, and made no attempt to get the ball, and get rightly sent off. I saw it at the time. I thought at the time, anybody who watches that video and doesn't think it's a send it off, well, I'll be amazed if anyone could think that.
Let's talk about Plymouth then. It's a team who are on a phenomenal run, aren't they? I think they've won 7 out of their last 8 league games, and they've got that great habit of winning games by the odd goal, haven't they?
Yeah, I watched the game the other night. I watched it back. And smashing game, as the Ipswich game was. And we were lucky to be able to see the Ipswich game live. And they've got this belief that they're going to score when they need to score, which is certainly a promotion enhancing characteristic. I think they believe they can get promoted, which is also a good sign. 2 good friends of myself, Jimmy and John's, in Shuey and Mark Hughes. So, you know, we know them well, and it's great to see them doing well. Obviously, we'll try and put a spanner in the works on Saturday. Like, you know, I've got loads of good friends at Morecambe, and I love seeing Morecambe do well, but only when they play against us. I don't want them to do well. And it's similar scenario on Saturday. A good friend of mine as well, his son, Brendan Grant's son, Connor, who I spoke about last year. I've known him since he was 6 or 7, and seen him play since he was 6 or 7, seen him come through. And he's just getting back to fitness now, so it'll be good to see him as well. But we've got to go there with a belief that we can win the game. We're not going to go down there to try and batten up the hatches. We're going to go try and win. And, you know, we'll do our own work, as they'll do their own work on us.
What are they good at, Plymouth, John?
They're very good going forward. They're blessed with the fact that they've got 4 or 5 different options, striker-wise. Good attacking wing-backs who play properly as wing-backs. You know, you'd often see them score a goal where one wing-back cross it and the other one heads it in. And as I said, they've got that belief that they're going to score as well. So it means that they have plenty of opportunities and take plenty of shots. And they're a good team to watch, to be fair. You know, and they've got the crowd rocking there now. You know, they're filling the place. And it'll be a great atmosphere. And it's good to see teams thrive like that.
I know it was a heavy defeat there last year. I think the goalkeeper was sent off, but a couple of years previous you won there 3-0, so it's not a place where you can't go and get a result.
We'll never be afraid to go anywhere, to be honest. But we have had some good results there. I think we had a good 2-2 as well the year before that. And we've generally competed well against them. You just need that little bit of luck. You need a little bounce of the ball here and there. You know, you could say that we've had in the last 3 weeks. You just got to keep believing that you put yourself into areas where the bounce of the ball can affect you positively and not negatively. And you've got to try and play the game in the other team's half. Easier said than done. You know, Sheffield Wednesday did it for a long time. Tuesday, but then Plymouth forced them back. Ipswich, very similar games. Ipswich forced them back. So, you know, you've got to score when you're on top. I think both Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday didn't, and let Plymouth regain control of the game. They're in that groove at the moment where they're scoring when they're on top, because they're making loads of chances and they're looking like scoring. And when you look like scoring, you've always got, you know, the players believe that they're going to score. You know, when you're making chances, the flashing balls across the box, shooting, keepers making saves, hitting the woodwork and what have you. And the fans believe it, everyone gets up for it. And as I said, it's good to see a big club like that thrive.
And just defensively, it's one free-cone goal that's gone in against you in 3 matches. That's a
Four
good
if you
platform,
count
isn't it?
Yeah, 4 if you count Papa John's. You know, things like that happen in football. Ryan hasn't meant to score into his own goal. Lucas hasn't meant it to go over his head. I don't think Harvey's meant to miss the header. So it's a couple of slight lapses of concentration that you have to get right, and thankfully we've been going in the right direction in that, and we've just got to keep going in the right direction.